Hi guys, I hope that you are having a blessed day today. So, one thing I'd like to share with you guys is about this word that God had put on my heart. But before I get into that, then let me explain a little bit as to how I got to there. So, the other day I was coming out of the gym and I started to think about the shot heard around the world that happened in 1775 of April 19th. And um, I had thought about didn't Paul Revere ride after the shot heard around the world? And I started looking into it a little bit, and it was also William Dallas and Samuel Prescott that actually also rode, but not all of them survived, unfortunately. And so I started to think about that and look into it, and I started to realize that they had actually rode before the shot heard around the world, while the shot heard around the world was something that people had thought of it as something that had started the war. And I realized that this happened 250 years ago. And we are in a time in which just recently, after Charlie Kirk's death, then this was a shot that in a way had been heard around the world through social media, and through news, and that others have been feeling like they have to make some sort of action, some sort of change in their life because of this, realizing the frailty of life. But this is actually deeper than just that. Just in a similar way as to how Paul Revere and these guys were known as people to warn the colonists that the British were coming, and that those who fought in these battles were freedom fighters, people who fought with the purpose of giving these colonists freedom. So also God is raising up people right now, spiritual torch bearers of freedom, of liberty, those who will defend the faith. And that they are those who will preach a message that the King is coming. But this is not just about a change in America politics, as some may think of it as, but this is a global call to action. And that this has become more noticeable because of recent events. But this is something that God has actually been doing and been unveiling, but it's started to become more visible to our eyes. And that this is something that the world has never seen before. In which God was saying to me that He is preparing spiritual troops that will not fear death, they will not fear the crowd, they will be fierce like lions, and they will be as kind as doves, and as wise and cunning as snakes. And they will take the kingdom by force. That this is the beginning of a spiritual, global, revolutionary war for souls, or as some may say, a Jesus revolution.